What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here on Mansa XP. Today we're going to be talking about, we're halfway through the year, and I want to talk about what games I've played already, what games I kind of picked up and then dropped and may come back to later, and then what games I'm looking forward to. Just 2024 has been pretty good so far, and there's a lot coming out for the second half, but I wanted to just go through things I've beaten already, trying to beat down the backlog a little bit, play some new games and everything like that. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do videos every Sunday. We do live streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And just a lot of good vibes, good content over here. So I appreciate it, and leave a like on this video. Now let's get right into it, starting with the month of January. So in January, the first game that I played was Ghostwire Tokyo. So this game originally was a PS5 exclusive or timed exclusive, but then after Microsoft ended up purchasing Bethesda or acquiring them, they did have to have this game come over. It was pretty good. I was kind of weirded out by it in the beginning. It was a little creepy. You end up technically dying and then having a spirit kind of take over you, and you get these new different powers to fight these other spirits. Very deep into Shintoism and a lot of those Japanese ideals as far as the afterlife and souls and stuff like that. You get different abilities like traversal, pulling souls out, water abilities, fire, wind, different elements, and there's a lot of cool side activities and things like that. And you're doing this all to pretty much take down the evil organization to save your sister. So I thought it was pretty decent. I know IGN gave it a 7. I'd give it a 7 as well. Definitely a good game to pick up or try in Game Pass if you have it. Next up, another game from January that I beat was Control. Now this game originally was in Game Pass. It left Game Pass and I didn't finish it. And then it ended up coming back with the deluxe edition. Unfortunately, I ended up spending money on it. I bought it on the PS5 as well because they had a sale, but yeah, you win some, you lose some, but Control's pretty good. It came from the company, the publishers Remedy, who made Alan Wake, as well as Quantum Break and Alan Wake 2 and the Max Payne series. So Control's pretty good. You're pretty much trying to solve what's going on in this kind of FBI agency. There are different creatures coming about, and you have the ability, as you can see in the video, to unlock different telekinetic powers. You have this cool weapon that you can upgrade, different guns and bullets, and different telekinetic abilities and things like that as you try to solve what's going on over here. So definitely really good game. I definitely recommend it. Again, in Game Pass, and the deluxe edition's on sale, I think for $7 or $10. So if you have a chance to pick it up, definitely do so. Of course, after the developer direct, I did have to go and kind of get back into this series because I had tried it before and then kind of dropped it. But with the announcement of Hellblade 2 that we've been waiting for, and we finally got a release date for it, I had to go and play the original. So I did have to jump back in with the first Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, again on Game Pass. And similar to the second one, which I've almost completed at this point, but I did need to get the complete story. The second game was the first big first-party game for Xbox to come out this year, so I had to finish the first one. And the upgraded visuals and everything being on the Xbox Series X, I definitely had to pick it up. So, just as everyone said, there's only been good things to say about the game as far as the audio style and techniques that they use in the game, the visuals, the different immersive sim parts of the game. Obviously, the combat and things like that aren't that evolved and are pretty simple and kind of easy, to be honest, but I still think it's a great experience, and that's the words I like to use, is put an experience on it. So I think everyone should experience this at some point. This one and the second one is really good, and I definitely don't think people should just skip out on it because of the length of the game and it's not really a game or whatever people want to say about it. So definitely check out Hellblade 1 and 2. Then the last game that I beat in the month of January is a series that I've been meaning to get into. Since Xbox purchased Bethesda, I did want to get more into their games. This game coming from Arcane, and that is Dishonored. Now, I have not played Dishonored 2 or Death of the Outsider yet, or Deathloop for that matter, or Prey. So I'm kind of not that experienced with Arcane games, but we do have Dishonored 1. I really liked it. It was a stealth immersive sim, the different abilities, the ways to, be stealthy if you want to or not. I definitely love that in stealth games. I'm not a big stealth person, but I do like the option of kind of going in guns blazing. Some of the weapons where you can make people's like bodies disappear and just teleporting around and all the cool, lore with the game. So if you haven't checked this out and like stealth games, I definitely recommend the Dishonored series. Now for the month of February, believe it or not, I actually didn't beat a single game. I'm not sure what was going on then, but I do know one game I was playing very heavy. We're going to talk about for the month of March when I finally beat it. It took me about a month. Put in like 71 to 72 hours into that game. And that game is Persona 3 Reload. Now, this is the remake of the original Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 game back from 2006 on the PS2. And I've never really been big into turn-based RPGs. I've gotten more into them as the time has gone on, and I really, really like this game. The remake in Unreal Engine, the different themes of the game, the characters, the abilities, the combat system, the social system, everything with this game just works so well together. And Atlus has been on a really, really crazy streak as of late. And the soundtrack, of course, I can't say any more about the soundtrack, just really hits. I did do a full review on this game, so if you've been thinking about picking it up, especially with the DLC coming out in September, which will be free for people on Game Pass, people haven't expected that to happen, but definitely if you're looking to get into the Persona series, especially more modern, obviously people want to play 5, but I would definitely recommend also checking out Persona 3 Reload when you can. Now from here on out in the video, I pretty much beat one game about for each month. I ended up moving, as you can see in the background if you didn't see any of my other videos after I moved. So I didn't really have too much time to just, blast through a bunch of games. So one per month was good for me. I'll try to get more moving forward. But for the month of April, we had Sonic Mania. Now this was a game that I feel like I started at some point and then just dropped it or kept picking it up and trying to play it. And I kept hearing like people saying like, this is the best 2D Sonic game, best Sonic game in a while. And I was just like, I don't get it. But then I tried it out, I bought it. I wish I bought it on Switch actually, and it's just so good. It really goes back, pulls different elements from the older games. It was really cool that they worked with this headcanon company to make a Sonic game. They gave them the keys to basically do it, and it looks just like the originals with an upgraded flair to it. There's different graphics. It's just really, really good. I honestly can't believe the team was able to make a game this good. This was so like enjoyable. You had the different filters to make it look older. You could do the CRT filter to make it look like that classic Sonic. The different backgrounds, the music in the game. Sonic Mania, if you have not played it and you're a fan of Sonic, definitely pick this up. I can't recommend it enough, and I'm really happy I ended up playing it. Next up, for the month of May, we had Rayman 3, believe it or not. You're watching this old commercial from the early 2000s for the PlayStation 2. Now, Rayman 2 is one of my favorite platformers all time on Nintendo 64. So Rayman 3 coming out, I never had it, and they had the HD version on the Xbox, so I couldn't miss the opportunity to pick this up. I just had an itch to play an old 3D platformer, and when I saw this was available for $10, I just had to pick it up. I really always wanted to play it. The new abilities with Rayman, either you have the cannon arm, you have the tornado fist, you have a bunch of different abilities and things like that weren't in Rayman 2, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Some parts were a little, I don't say too difficult, but like it did let you know like, okay, you're not going to just get through this easily. Some parts were a little obscure and things like that, but definitely enjoyed my time with the game. And then to round out the first half of the year in June, I did just recently beat Alan Wake Remastered. Now, as I mentioned before, really like Control. I really liked Quantum Break. I wanted to play Alan Wake 2, but I had to play the first one, of course, and just get into the whole Remedy universe. I've heard they're all connected, and this game is really, really, really cool with the concepts. You pretty much have a flashlight to fight these, shadow villains. The darkness is all around you. The whole game pretty much like 80% of the game takes place during night. You're on the run a little bit from the cops. Everything you're writing is part of the story because you are, an author, which you've probably heard for Alan Wake 2. And yeah, man, it's a really cool game. Again, I'm not really big into horror survivor, but I've gotten more into it as of late, especially with Resident Evil 4 and the remakes and things like that. So Alan Wake Remastered, I can't compare it to the original because I never played it, but I could tell there were some glitches and things going on with the game, but I still thought it was really enjoyable, really cool to find the little Easter eggs and the manuscripts of the story that you're writing and everything like that. So definitely check it out if you have a chance. And then last up, I'm cheating a little bit with this one because technically I haven't been in it yet, but I am finishing the last chapter. I've been streaming it. It was the first game I streamed on, and that is Hellblade 2: Senua's Sacrifice. So this game, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Again, this game is a marvel to look at. One of the best video games I've ever seen, if not the best. Unreal Engine 5 on full display. The audio technology, the mocap, the environments, like it makes sense why this game took so long to make, and I think people should really take their time with it, appreciate it for all it's worth. Yes, the combat's a little easy, and even though I've died a few times, but it's really great to just look at, admire the facial expressions, the audio, the visuals. Everything about this game is just looks like it took 5, 6, however long it took, that amount of years that it took to make this game. So definitely check this one out. I can't wait. Apparently it's going to be a trilogy, spoiler alert, I guess, but I can't wait to finish this game, and you guys should check it out too. So those were all the games that I did beat. Now let's talk about the games that I kind of picked up and then dropped for one reason or the other. The first game in that category was another Crab's Treasure. Now this game was pretty cool conceptually. It is a Souls-like game. And you have different abilities. You're a crab, but you lose your shell, and different shells that you get, they give you different abilities like projectiles or a spin move, or you get to float longer. Different abilities you get to upgrade your weaponry and everything like that. And it was cool at first, but then I got really over it kind of quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I had maybe like 1 or 2 parts of the game left, but some of the platforming, the traversal, some of the stuff was just unnecessarily hard. You could change the difficulty, but some of it just made it it didn't make me want to go back to the game. So I ended up dropping it. But, if you're kind of into Souls-likes, maybe you will like it. And again, like I said, you can change the difficulty to make it a little easier if you're not that keen on the game. But if you're into it, definitely check out the trailer. It's not a bad game at all. And then a few of the other games that I started and then dropped were like Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I did honestly kind of only play because I bought Rebirth and I wanted the full story after playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because I was playing it on the Switch or what, but it just wasn't captivating to me. Like Zack isn't interesting to me. The battle system is pretty much how Final Fantasy VII Remakes was, and I don't know if I just got burnt out on that or what, but I don't know. I might have to YouTube the story before I play Rebirth. And then a couple of live service games I tried. I've never tried any live service game for the most part. I think I tried Multiverses for the most part, but as far as shooters or free-to-plays or games of service, never really got into them. I tried Apex, played 1 round, done. I don't know. The map closing in and people knowing the secret spots to be at, wasn't with it. But then Overwatch 2, honestly, was pretty fun to me. I know a lot of people, for some reason, they hate hero shooters because they're all quote-unquote Overwatch clones, but I liked it. I liked the different characters and abilities and things like that. So, I kind of dropped off of it a little bit, got back into my single-player bag, but, when I have some downtime and just want to turn my brain off a little bit, definitely want to hop back into Overwatch. Now for the final part of the video, we're going to talk about what games I'm looking forward to for the second half of 2020. Now the first of those games, unfortunately, it just got announced that it will not be coming to the Xbox Series X and S on release day, which is supposed to be August 20th, and that is Black Myth Wukong. Now this game looks so good in Unreal Engine 5. Again, in that Souls-like territory, and it just looks awesome, man. I can't wait to play this. Now, it's believed that Sony may have gotten a deal with this game as close as we are to the release, so that kind of sucks. But it being on just the PC and PlayStation kind of makes me want to just buy it on the PC. And just the traversal, the cool characters, the environments, the bosses, like all the details we're getting on this game, just I haven't seen anything negative about it. The only thing you could kind of maybe say is negative is some people say it's not supposed to be technically open world. Like, it will be more linear, you know, cool different mythological creatures, and the bosses, apparently you'll be able to check like information on them after you defeat them. And again, this game, I think it'll be a good stream game as well, so you guys can see me like rage and everything like that. So definitely looking forward to it. I'll probably be picking it up on Steam at the end of August. Another game I'm looking forward to from the makers of Grounded and The Outer Worlds is Avowed. We've seen this game a few times. It's looked better and better each time. Obviously not the greatest as far as AAA, you know, high fidelity games and things like that, but this game, you know, it's not going to be an Skyrim clone like a lot of people want it to be. It's going to be more of a fantasy Outer Worlds type of experience, but Obsidian's definitely doing their things, you know, for their 20th anniversary. This game's allegedly coming out in November 12th to be specific, and I'm just really looking forward to it. The different dialogue options, the different, you know, combat as far as using a melee weapon, your magic, and also having, you know, some type of gun or spear or something like that. Like, there's just going to be a lot of different ways to play this game, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I hope that it comes out to, you know, acclaim. Like, I don't see a lot of people excited for this game, but I hope people do start getting excited for it, because, you know, we definitely have the potential for a great game on our hands. And I think Xbox Studios, especially with all the layoffs and everything, definitely need a win. And I think this could be a win for Microsoft Studios as a whole. Now, we mentioned Atlus earlier in the video, and a game that they're coming out with, which is a new IP for them, coming out October 11th, is Metaphor ReFantazio. And I'm telling you right now, I've mentioned this video game so many times in my videos. It is my most anticipated game for this year, coming from Studio Zero and the dream team that made Persona 3, 4, and 5. It's very similar to Persona in the sense of, you know, the social links that they have. They have these things called attributes, which are going to be basically Persona. As you can see, you're transforming into them. You'll be able to upgrade them, get different abilities, travel, build your party. The only thing that they won't have is no type of romance, apparently. You know, a lot of people like that in these RPGs and Sims and stuff like that, but either way, this game looks awesome. It pretty much looks like Persona meets Fire Emblem, and I'm definitely excited to pick it up day one. Another game I'm looking forward to, we've been waiting and waiting. I think we first heard about it back in either 2019 or 2020. It was originally supposed to come out in April 2022, but it's from Ukraine Studios, so obviously they're dealing with, you know, the war and everything going over there. But we are going to be getting Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl this September, the first week of September, I believe September 3rd. So definitely looking forward to this. It's kind of post-apocalyptic a little bit, but you see, you know, you got the radar with the radiation and just the decrepit environment and everything else going on like that. A little bit of supernatural going on. So definitely looking forward to this. Most likely we'll stream this as well. So hopefully the game's really good. You know, I hope the studio, everybody's good and safe over there. But Stalker 2, definitely looking forward to this game. Now, a game no one probably ever thought I'd be saying I'm excited for is Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, I have not played Call of Duty or bought a Call of Duty in over a decade, but this showing being the first Xbox game, or the first Xbox Call of Duty, with some real life events added into it, just looks so good. It's going to be in Game Pass, and I cannot wait to play this game. The new movements that they're adding to the multiplayer, but it's a Black Ops game, right? So we know the campaign's going to be all of that. The original Black Ops is one of my favorites as far as the campaign goes, and online, to be honest. So definitely looking forward to pick this one up. They already announced it will be coming out October 25th and day one in Game Pass. A lot of people were worried about that, but we do see that it will be coming on Game Pass for people that are subscribing, and hopefully it'll add some more subscribers to, you know, bolster the player base, and then we could get some more games coming to Game Pass. So looking forward to this one. And there's a handful of a few other games I'm looking forward to. Dungeons of Hinterberg, Flintlock, those come to mind, coming out July 18th. And then also we got Indie coming out later at the end of the year. Just a lot of great games I'm looking forward to. A lot of them Xbox, a lot of them Game Pass games. So, you know, we eating good. Any Xbox subscribers or Game Pass subscribers, definitely eating good this year. And that is my first half of 2024 wrap up, guys. So I definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys for, you know, rocking with me as we've been trying to rebuild and shuffle things around. Definitely, if you're new to the channel, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up on this video, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, and I'll catch you on the next video.